Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chesswise. Today we are at the third topic of our crash course and we are looking at the back rank. So let us begin with a warm-up position. This is the position with black to play. We see that black's queen and the rook are very active. All black has to do is properly pinpoint the weakness in the position. One is of course the back rank. The back rank is weak for both. The king is unable to move ahead. So such a situation is called a weakness of back rank. Sometimes even if one of the pawn has moved, but that square is covered by our piece, we would treat it like a back rank only. So here many people suggest the move rook a8, attacking the rook on a1. See, the rook on a1 is stuck, but the problem is after rook a8, it is black who ends up losing because there comes queen takes 8. This is called the X-ray attack. Through this rook, the other rook attacks. So rook a8, queen c8 and rook c8 would be made. Black identifies the second weakness, that is the trapped rook on a1, and finds the strong move qb2. Strange it looks, but the move is winning on the spot. There are hardly any defensive ideas because if h3, which is almost forced, then just rook takes a1, the rook is lost. The b1 rook is pinned. Right now, none of the rooks can capture the queen or the rook because the other piece would be taken. So let's say rook b2, then rook a1, then rook b1, qd1, rook d1 mates. If white goes qd1, supporting the rook on b1, then queen f2 check, king h1, qg2 mates. And only other way, by the queen to support b1 and f2, keeping both supported. Then rook takes a1. Now the rook is attacked, so if rook takes a1, then queen a1 and mates next move. So this position is winning after the move qb2. Let's move to the next position. So we have the second position here, very famous one based on the concept of back rank. I feel this position should be there and it is there in most books whenever we talk about back rank. It's a bit of a long combination. We see that the white rooks are dominating the file. They are trying to put pressure on the rook on e8. So we can see back rank is weak for both here. The black king cannot move up, nor can the white king. So there are no spaces for the king to move on the upper ranks. So what white saw here is that after bishop takes f6, which he played, that after gf, the g file would be opened. And the tactical idea what came to his mind is that now after re7, queen e7, the queen will stand on e7 alone. The rook and king c both are in a weak situation. Rook is unsupported, king is on the open file. So there will be the move queen g4 check and the c8 rook is lost. So white anticipated this, that black is compelled to play the move bf6, which is very true, but he must have calculated further and seen what is the problem here. So when we look at this position, see, most books cover the position from here. The point is that the queen on d7 and the rook on c8 both are the defender of the e8 rook or the square e8, and both of them are overloaded to some extent. So white begins with the first deflecting move qg4. See, time and again white wants to deflect this queen on d7. So first he starts with the move qg4. This is the first in the many upcoming series of queen sacrifice by white. Here qg4 loses to rook e8 and rook e8 mates. If queen goes to d8, then simply there is queen c8 and then followed by rook e8. So queen had to go to the square b5. But what now? Many people think that after a4 white would win the game very easily. Very true, a4 is a very obvious candidate. But after a4, what will happen is that, see, white's back rank is also weak. There is the move queen e2, and suddenly after rook e2 we realize there is the move rook c1 check, and after knight e1, rook e1, rook e1 and white gets mated. After the move queen e2, if white goes queen takes c8, then we see that there is the intermezzo qe1 check first, and after knight e1, just rook takes the queen and black would be winning. So white first goes qc4, attacking the queen, blocking the queen's path to e2, and see, none of the piece can take on c4. Black queen meanwhile is attacked again. queen has to go back to d7, and now another series of force moves. Again queen enters, attacks the queen on d7, forces the queen back to b5. Now what has happened is, because white has put the queen on c4, the c8 rook cannot reach c1. So now queen e2 ideas are not easily possible, and still white has to be careful. He doesn't want the hanging rook here. Many suggest the move qb7, but as we already saw, after qb7, qe2, it is white who loses. If black had played the queen to a4, then there would be just b3, qb5, a4. The queen would have had no safe place. Hence queen b5 was played. White played a4, queen takes a4, and this is the most important move in the combination, rook e4. This rook move solves all the problems for white. Now see, e4 cannot be taken. If queen takes e4, then just rook takes e4. Both the rooks cannot leave the back rank. If rook takes e4, then just queen takes c8, queen e8, queen e8, re8 and re8 checkmates. So black went back qb5, and now the maneuver which we discussed, qb7. It's game over. Now the black queen has no safe place. Queen a4 just allows rook takes a4. e1 is guarded. After the only try, rook b8, white simply has queen takes b5. Rook b5 allows re8 mate, and if rook into e4, then qb8 would mate. So this is where black chose to resign. Let's go to the next position now. Another famous example, the third world champion Capablanca is white here. The white pieces are quite active. Queen, rook and the knight all are well placed. Knight and the queen are eyeing the g7 square. The rook d1 stands on the open file. Back rank problem is there again here for both the sides. The kings are unable to move upwards. White sees that he has got a strong move in knight h6, which forces the move king h8. If we see properly, we will identify that the queen is the defender of the bishop. The queen is defender of the square d8, which the white rook is eyeing. Similarly, the f8 rook is overloaded in guarding f7 and d8, which especially is true after the move c, nh6, king h8. This happens to be the important position which one should imagine and try to find moves over here. Let's say if white goes nf7 instantly, then after qf7 there is the move qe5. The idea was if nf7, rook f7, then queen e5. Even that is not a best way, because after queen e5 rook d8 is there, but after nf7, qf7, qe5, then it is white who loses after qf2 check. nf7 outright is a blunder. Here white had seen the very strong move, queen takes e5. Firstly, removing the queen on c7. f8 rook is still not deflected, but he is forcing the queen. It's a decoy, deflection to the square, particular square. Here the square e5, and now see comes knight takes f7. See how nicely both the pieces are deflected one by one. If rook takes f7, then rook d8 check, queen e8, rf8 and rf8 mates. In the game, black chose to resign, as after the only other move kg8, knight e5, he will be just a piece and a couple of pawns down. Let's move to the last position quickly. So this is the last position here. It's white to play. Again we see this time the white king is not having any back rank issues, but it is bit in the open. Black queen is nearby. The d2 rook is hanging. For black we can see several pieces, the rook, the bishop, and even the back rank problem is there. But it looks as if nothing much can be done right now. If queen takes f5, then just qd2. Black is at least clearly better. Secondly, we see that the rook on d2, although eyeing d8, the d8 square is well blocked by the bishop on h4. So what should white do here? White looks into a forced line. He sees that this queen is also capable of attacking a square on the back rank. This is how we should see the relation of the pieces and through the enemy piece, which made white look into the move c, nf7. The knight cannot be taken. See, if rook takes f7, then queen c8 check. This is the point which most players miss. They just see the knight is hanging and they leave their calculation there itself. So this is the most important move which enables the combination to take place. So after nf7 means king g8 is forced, and now white uses knight h6 check. Another forced move means we have this same position with the knight on h6. If now king f8, then queen into f5 would be checked, and this rook can simply be saved, or even there is the back rank issue over there. So king h8 forced means we will have knight h6 k8 position with white's move again. It looks as though what can happen even if the knight is on h6. The point is that, see, this rook cannot give check, but the squares g7 and e3 both are in the range of knight fork and on the same color you see. So what happens is white uses the strong check, queen g7. See, such moves are very important. That is why there is a saying, never miss a check. And what happens is after knight f7, kg8, knight h6, king h8, white has the strong qg7 forcing kg7, and it's easy to see that after knight f5 check, king f6, just knight takes the queen, thereby making white a rook up, and he will win the game easily. So these examples, although not very difficult ones, but I thought they are perfect for the range of 1000 to 1200. I hope you are finding the course content useful and instructive. Do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for your time.